feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hi everyone, welcome. If you are new here and you're my previous subscriber, welcome my little astronaut. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about and be discussing my election night dream that I had back a couple of years ago, about 3 years now, that I had it, and I talked about it on my channel on October 3rd, 2020, and I did a video about it too. And so today in this video, we'll be revisiting that video, but we're not going to take it from the perspective of Pete Buttigieg, but we're going to take it from a totally different perspective. Now, this video, when I recorded it, was when I recorded that video on October 3rd, 2020, so it was way before the presidential election, about a month before the presidential election. So you might see some polarities between the 2020 election and this election, and I'll go through them, how they're a little bit very similar, but not similar at the same time. And we're going to look into seeing what this means. Now, it's not necessarily a dream. When you remember a dream, it's really not a dream. It's really a vision. So it was really a vision. I had to call it a dream just so it makes more sense and it'll make it easier for you guys to understand. But anyway, let's begin. I'm going to pull up the video of with me talking. I cut it down. If you want to see the original video, you can see it in the description below. I have it linked there below for you. If you are new here, you can also check out the timestamp. I will have everything timestamped in this video. Let's begin. But before we do, this is being live streamed on September 16, 2021 at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you are interested in booking and reading with me, just check the description below. You'll find everything that you need right there. Here's some other disclaimer. You keep in mind this video is just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only as well. All right, let's begin. And at the end of the video, we will have a pick card and see what messages your guys have for you. And happy early Spooktober. Well, it's not really Spooktober, but you know, whatever. Anyway, let's begin. Dream and then the vision. So you kind of have like the context. Before we begin, this is for entertainment purposes only. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Now, this will be the part where I have the introduction, but I don't know what I'm doing, so there is no introduction. So let's get right into it. Alright, so what happened was I was sitting down on this couch, actually, but it was upstairs, and I was sitting down like this. I closed, listened to some really deep third eye meditation, and what ended up happening was I ended up falling into a trance. And I don't know if I must have watched something that with Trump in it or whatnot, but this was before the Democratic primary, or when they were starting up, and Joe Biden just announced his candidacy, but Pete Buttigieg didn't. It was the week before Pete Buttigieg announced, just to spread some positive white light protection. Okay, so I sat down on the couch, I closed my eyes, third eye meditation, and what ended up happening was, it was almost like a Cass Peter moment, if you will, so to speak. And so I was laying down, and I saw like this vision, and the first thing that popped up was like election night. I don't know the year specifically, but I assumed it was this year, only because the motto was, no joke. That was not the motto. The motto was, here we go again, and then with like that very tired emoji, like, I'm so tired of this, I just want it to be over kind of thing. And so I assumed it had to do with Trump, and that they just want it to be over with. And so, anyways, going further, it was like election night, and I remember watching the TV, and it was open. It was like election night. And so the first state that popped up was Florida, and Florida was very competitive, but Trump was expected to win. Well, he was leading there by 4%, and then North Carolina he was leading North Carolina more than what he wanted in 2016, so he won it by around 4%, so he was going to win it by 5 or something. Then we have Ohio, and Ohio, he was like winning by, I think, like more than 2016. Don't hold me to it. But yeah. So also, I saw like there was going to be somebody who was going to go up against this other Republican. And the guy who was going to go up against him was a 35-year-old, or somebody who was very young in his early 30s, well, late 30s, because he's like 35 older. And his VP pick was going to be a woman. So I already knew there was going to be a woman no matter what. But it was a woman that very closely aligned like Hillary. Almost had like Hillary energy, so I thought it was like Elizabeth Warren. But anyway, yeah, so what ended up happening was it was election night and blah blah blah. Trump was leading, and no, I mean the Republican challenger was leading, but there is one or one or two different things. So whoever wins in the summer, like in terms of national polling, whoever polls by more than 10% or something like that, double digits, if you know what I'm speaking. Anyone who polls more than that, they will see them losing the White House come in the fall. And so whatever party, leaves. And I saw like, the Democrats or the Republicans have both equal opportunity. The reason why they will lose the White House if they let it in the summer is because the party that leaves is the one that's going to take the biggest hit when it comes to the October surprise. And the October surprise was actually what we call the baby scandal, which is basically where, I know this is really disgusting, so this is a little explicit, but the October surprise that it was that the baby scandal where people who are in a position of power, how would I put this? Have sexual things or do sexual things with newborn babies, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, that's the baby scandal. And it ties to both parties, but the party that leads would be the party that takes the biggest hit, even though the other party tied. So, it's not good. The reason why the young candidate is not going to be the one that kind of gets the hit, but he's going to be the one that's going to have a little trouble, is because his VP pick is going to come off almost like a Hillary energy, and so they may retaliate against that. And yeah, it was kind of crazy, that dream, but I wanted to do a reading on whether or not Pete Buttigieg were going to be president or something like that. I thought that would be very interesting read to check out. I don't know, I always thought that I knew Biden was the safe choice. He really was. Not going to lie, he is the safe choice for America. Even though he lost 2 presidential runs, well, he lost no, most of them were primaried, if you know what I mean. They were primaried. We do have the hermit, so he was in a hermit mode. I feel like he was a hermit. He wasn't able to win in 1988 primary and then 2008 primary against Barack Obama. And so I do see that Biden will do better because this is what his life purpose was to go up against Trump, to get him out, really. Okay, so basically I'm back. So basically what that dream was me explaining in my old video everything that happened. So if you want to check this out, the video to the dream that was recorded on October 3rd, 2020, and you can find the link to the original video in the description below. I cut a lot of it out, but to kind of leave the part that's really important. So let's go over some of the actual facts that I said in the video and, stuff like that. Then we'll jump into the tarot card section of this video. All right, so I said in the video that Trump wins Florida and he's expected to lead by 4%. If you were to compare it to 2016, which is the 2016 results, because the dream took place after 2016, you're looking at the 2016 results. Now Donald Trump wins with 48.6% to Hillary Clinton 47.4%. That is a difference of 1.2%. In 2020, Donald Trump won the state of Florida with 3.3%. He increased his margin. I said in the video that Donald Trump is expected to lead and basically order Republican to lead by 4% in the state of Florida. And so this would be the largest margin for a Republican. Again, this dream took place way before the actual election result of 2020. The reason why I go over this because I don't know if this dream quickly pertained to 2020 election or it pertained to a future election that I am currently foreseeing. But a lot of the stuff that I said in my dream didn't all of them happen at once, but some of it did. And so that's really interesting. We have here the state of Ohio. I said that Trump wins Ohio by more than 2016. Or something like that. It was a little up for grabs. I just say he may increase his margin, decrease a little bit. And if you look at the 2016 results, you see here Donald Trump wins by 51.3% to Hillary Clinton 43.2%, which is a margin of 8.1% in 2016. In 2020, Donald Trump won the state of Ohio by 8% over Joe Biden. So I just say in my dream that Donald Trump would increase his margin a little bit over the Republican candidate. Now, again, we don't know if this is referring to 2020 or 2024. That is remains to be seen by 2020 to 2024. So in North Carolina, I said that Trump would win North Carolina by more than 2016. I was wrong. I did say he leads in the state. I did say we're going to win the state, but that's what I said in my dream. Or I did say a Republican. I'm not going to assume it's Trump, but I did in North Carolina. If you look at the North Carolina data from 2016, Donald Trump won the state of North Carolina by 49.8% to Hillary Clinton 46.2%. That is a margin of 3.6%. In 2020, Joe Biden almost lost the state by 1.4% to Donald Trump, where Donald Trump increased his margin 50.1% to Joe Biden 48.7%. So obviously in this case, Joe Biden increased his margin, Donald Trump almost lost the seat, but again, the dream that the Republican will hold on. Now the question remains is this election that I foresaw back then in October and way before that video came out, was this dream about 2020? And I'm not even sure because a lot of the states that I said were going red did go red in 2020. The question is, those states can go red again in 2024. So we don't necessarily know. I also said by anyone whoever wins by more than 10% will lose the election. By what I mean by that is anybody who during the summer, right, where the summer is, and they have like the national convention and stuff like that during the summer month, like August. Anyone who leaves by large numbers will end up losing the White House come that election. Joe Biden won and was leading by a comfortable margin over Donald Trump during those time period. Again, like I said, I don't know when this is taking place, so this could be a potential future election I am foreseeing, but assuming that it's taking place in 2020 when it's actually not. I just say the male will be 35 years old and the woman will be older. In this case, Joe Biden was older and the woman was younger. So that is remain to be seen if that is the candidate that we're going to expect. I talk about a baby scandal. The baby scandal did come out in 2020. It was about a QAnon conspiracy about Democrats eating children. So that was something that came out, but again, that's not particularly the baby scandal that I was referring to, but it's very similar to the time period in which I talked about it. Yeah, okay. So let's take a look at the reading. Let's kind of see what message my guys have for us today. We have not done this video in a long time, and at the end of the video, we're going to do a little pick a card reading. You guys can get messages from your spirit guides and see what you guys have to say for you. All right, let's begin. We're going to start off with the Dream Interpretation deck, and then we're going to find out what election year is this. I'm going to try to find out who is the candidate, what we need to know about them. Did it already occur? Was it 2020? And stuff like that. I don't know. If you have a pendulum, tarot card, join in with me. Why not? Have fun. Have some fun. Tell me what you're getting. Ooh, I didn't mean to break my card. All right, let's do that. Okay, let's do it. Let's start. All right, so Spirit Angel, tell me, what do we need to know about my election night dream? Because I remember sitting down and all of a sudden on the screen, it was like MSNBC, and it will say, election night in America, here we go again. That was the motto. So I wonder if this will rematch. You know what I mean? Okay, we have doctors here. Interesting. We are in COVID. So COVID might be a big thing still in 2024. Okay. All right, I guess there's a lot of cards here. We have money. We're going to be using the guidebook as well just to kind of get more deeper understanding here. So the main part of what today is, we're talking about the election, what we need to know about the dream, what was the message that was behind it, right? We have here doctors, right? 2019. It's actually funny I had the 19 here, right? 2019, COVID came out, right? We have the doctors here. Oh, I didn't mean to get children. I forgot about the buddies, so I do apologize. We have here as well as we have Stalin, right? Stalin through victory, Stalin to the White House, right? The next card that came out was the youth vote, the millennial, the young generation coming out. So it's telling me here that there is some sort of youth here. I feel like this election had not occurred yet. We have art. I do kind of see water, like a figure, something coming out, like a fourth dimensional, right? We have here food, people overindulging themselves. This is referring to misinformation about something. Something's being misinformed. And then we have here is money involved, money machine. So I guess this next election, whenever this is, it's referring to the 19 pandemic, the pandemic of how the pandemic was handled under Joe Biden. We're going to be referring to as well is this is what's going to be surrounding the election. All right, so we have here healthcare is going to be a big issue. The youth vote when it comes to jobs, Social Security debt, national debt, student debt. We have here art, doing things that are very important outside of just work, hobbies, right? Investing in science, art. We have here food, right? Social media, indulging yourself more than what you really need. Food, there might be a food crisis, a famine. We also have here money. They might even have a surplus of money in the country, or we might have an economic collapse. Regardless, it does feel like these are going to be big issues, especially even transportation potentially. This will also involve the infrastructure package as well. Hi, Julie. Welcome, love. Oh my God, you're so sweet. Thank you. There is a baby scandal on the border, children taken by the immigrants officials and given out to foster families, and then the government did not keep track of them. Really? Really? Okay, when did that occur? Interesting. That might be a big issue that might come up during the election, especially I think Kamala Harris, if she runs for president, that might be a big issue. All right, so let's take a look using the guidebook. Let's see what the guidebook has to say. I feel like this is kind of telling me more policy-wise how people are going to vote based on the type of preferences. All right, so let's take a look at the doctor. Let's see what the doctor says. Ooh, came right up to the number. Okay, so to be wise and do not become your own shadow. The following line aims to lead the use of the dream card towards it. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Oops, sorry. Let's see what the card means. Is it Spanish? Oops, I can't read Spanish. All right, hold on. Where's the duck meaning? Okay, I don't know how to. I don't know. I never really used a guidebook, so I have no idea. All right, hold on. Let me just use the English book thing. Okay, that was in Italiano. Okay, where is the meaning? Let's look at the cards. Hold on, I gotta do this one by one, I guess. All right, got it. Sorry. All right, so we have the doctor card, which is actually, believe it or not, revolved around care, medicine, rigid, so something's rigid, illness, and recovery, judgment health. They could be referring to we're coming out of recovery by 2024. We have sailing, which is interesting here. It says ship, waves, flow, distant place, horizon, landing. Potentially, there's going to be a massive wave of support for a particular candidate when this occurs. So let's go to the youth. The youth is interesting. Lightness, energy, integrity, surprise, new perspective, fun, children. My generation could be a very big voting block come the next election. That would make a lot of sense with that. I think this is referring to 2024 that I've foreseen. Let's look at art. Creation, colorists, artists, imagination, of observation and communication of feeling. It's all about your emotions now. How do you feel towards the current administration, towards Biden? We have here food, nutrition of something or someone, partying, binging, taste, hunger, abundance. There's going to be a lot of something. I do feel like there might even be a surplus of food that we're normally not used to. And then we have money here. I think there's two obvious scenarios. One is going to be where we have no money, the young people are poor, the art is a major issue, the food is an issue, money is an issue, and healthcare. But we could be in a time where that healthcare, money, food, art, youth, and sailing in terms of transportation are going to be highlights of the next election, right? Then for money, we have here abundance, tool, energy, poverty, money, and finance and wealth. That really depends on what really happened and how Biden steers the country. But as of right now, that's the card that I get for what the dream means. Is that these are the policies and the potential outcomes in future for the word just left me, for the country, right? Okay, so let's see what you have to say, Julie. You said that was the border immigration crisis in the news during the Trump presidency, the kids in collegiate month. All right, thank you. That's interesting. Yeah, so that would be a major issue, especially under Kamala Harris or Biden's administration, as I don't think, don't quote me on this, I think there was something on the news that said that they didn't handle it well. That might be something that comes off as an October surprise. Let's take a look. We're going to use this deck. We're going to use the United States of Tarot deck. Let's see, because it's perfect. It's election night. Let's see. Okay. All right, so Spirit Angel, tell me, what messages do you have for my guys right now? What messages do you have, Spirit guys, about my election night dream? If you have any of your own interpretation or intuition, what your intuition telling me, let me know in the comment section below in the live chat. Okay, card came out. Okay, so we have here the King of Wands. This is interesting. They're just kind of like the Biden card, the Biden energy, when there's no card at the time when the deck was being made. So it tells me here there's something about a Democratic president, but a young president, very charismatic president. This Republican or Democrat who wins in this election in my dream will be somebody who is seen as very young, inspirational, an animal lover, nurturer, somebody who could be looked upon. I am seeing a Southern but had liberal views, so more like conservative policies in economy or fiscal, but will have liberal or social policies that they will enjoy. So they will enjoy very beneficial things. We have here the page, the Two of Pentacles. They won't come from the state of California. I feel like they're going to come from a very poor state, a Republican state, but they're going to be a Democrat. We have the Six of Wands, right? People walking. This is kind of like they're going to bring us back to the time of colonial America and to what it originally means. So this could be referring to like the Constitution potentially. Yeah, I love the small group too. Hi, Rhonda. It's bringing us back to the Constitution and what it really means genuinely as a collective, what it means to be an American. I do feel like the Constitution is going to be a major issue. Potentially, he will be seen as a modern version of the new American founders or the new founding fathers, so to speak, right? We also have here as well is we have the Three of Pentacles. The way that we do business in America is going to be a lot different than the way that we normally would under a normal president, normal circumstance. I see economic success here. We have here as well, we have temperance. It's still going to be a little bit of hardship for the nation as a whole, but also particularly for Native Americans. When this occurs, this is going to occur at the time of a Great Depression during an economic crisis. So this individual may come out. Potentially, this might be a candidate or who may, if this was President Biden, this hypothetical, just say this was President Biden and Biden inquired a Great Depression, right? Someone could primary him and challenge him in the primary and take his spot to be the next presidential candidate so that they can go on to win. So it does feel like there is in some sense that if this is not Joe Biden, Joe Biden inquires and does not handle the Great Depression very well, the party will lose. However, it could also mean that the party wins. It's kind of really, it can go either way. We have here Prince of Pentacles, by holding on to what you can, the money here, right? And it's interesting because we have the Tower card here. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it's a tower in the background. Right at the bottom deck here, we have Three of Cups, Stephen Colbert, right? We have the media here, the media coming in. The media is going to be very happy. So whoever this candidate is, they're going to love the candidate. So let's take a look now at, is this 2020 or was this 2024? Any other election in the future? Now, I did see at one point, if the COVID-19 pandemic did not happen, Joe Biden would not be president. Who the person who would have been president would have been Pete Buttigieg. He would have been president, not Joe Biden. But Joe Biden was the most safest choice for America at the time it was Donald Trump was president. He was the safe choice, but Pete Buttigieg would have won. He would have won had it not been an election like we've seen. So let's, before we do that, if it's 2020 or 2024, any other election this election, whatever does take place, we're going to get a little quick crystal. Excuse me, I'm stuttering. We have a crystal here. I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes and I want you to get in tune with the crystal that I have in my hand right now. And I want you to picture it. I want you to picture the texture, the color, the shininess, what it had, what the colors are, you know, what it is. And it's a very beautiful crystal, very gorgeous. And I think a lot of you guys would like the crystal. So close your eye and tune in. Even if you're wrong, just have some fun, right? And then we'll jump back into the reading. This will kind of allow yourself to ease into the next section of today's video. Hi, Paula. What's up, love? Haven't seen you in a while. Hi, Rhonda. No, I don't do personal readings anymore or personal questions in terms of relating to the individual or subscriber accident because of bad experiences that I had. So there's that. But if you're asking personal, more so like related to the dream or the topic or something like that, you can ask those, but not particularly relating to how my finances are going to be and stuff like that. I hope that makes sense. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, if you need more time, pause the video. I'm going to reveal you the crystal now. So if you have guessed white, you are correct. This is called Angel Aura. Now, the lighting does not do justice, but I'm trying to show you the beautiful coloration. This is Angel Aura. Gorgeous crystal. I have loved the crystal, and I bought it. I was like, oh my God, I need to get it. So this is Angel Aura. Okay, so if you got this right, good job. All right, so let's jump back into it. So Spirit Angels tell me, the dream that I have, was this relating anything about 2020 presidential election? Oh, God, okay. Okay, it's interesting, because we have the Chariot. This is interesting, because this is like what took place in 2020. We had the Republican in the past. We have the Democrat in the future. This is my young Democrat. This is my original conservative. And then we have the Chariot. And the first thing I heard was, this is my 2016 card. And that's reverse, right? Interesting. Yeah, and then here we have the presidency. The presidency didn't take place yet. This is what happened. So what ends up happening is there's going to be a Republican in office, right? It's going to be an incumbent. So this young Democrat is going to come in the time of a conservative Republican, or like a conservative type Democrat too as well. Could be like Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a conservative Democrat. He's not, or moderate, so to speak, right? So that's here, and we have this young Democrat energy here, right? That's the future, and we have here this person's not president yet, so this is not Joe Biden. We have the Chariot reverse. And so in today's part of the early reading, I spoke about everything that happened. It was interesting that the election result came in. So that's interesting. So now we know that it's the future election, not 2020. I'm glad you guys like the crystals. I'll be selling those type of crystals once they get up and running. So hopefully you guys can get some of your own that I can give you. You guessed incessant, iridescent, but I think it was because you said it was very, very beautiful. Yeah, it's a very beautiful crystal, very beautiful. I saw crystals, like I'll see crystals in my dream and my vision, and I'll remember like pressing like a little pen, like I had like a little pen, like a point, and I'll put a point right on my third eye in my dream, and then it's a crystal I never heard of before, right? It could be Kamala Harris, but Kamala Harris is not more so Even though she's a young Democrat, she's more of a Hillary Clinton type energy. So I wouldn't necessarily say her specifically. I would say she would be VP, but she would not be the main Democrat, if so to speak. Okay. Or it could be another entirely different one. So Spears and Angel, tell me, when is this election supposed to occur? When is this election supposed to occur? Is it going to be 2024? Okay, so I heard no, it's not going to be 2024. I heard it's going to be 2028. Let's see. Okay, so we have economic crisis again. We have economic crisis, potentially an incumbent losing. Because this is Biden here. We have Biden. Okay, that's interesting that the card comes out. We have here the Knight of Pentacles reversed. I always saw Biden winning. Maybe I have to do an update video on that. What we have here is we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed, right? Being stopped in your tracks, but this is reversed. So Biden's leaving, but something stops. Then we have here the election is tight, the election is close. So the election is obviously very close. We have here as well as we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, or 6 stories here. It's reversed. The election is now stolen. I have a feeling that whatever happened, there's going to be election fraud claims. But whenever this election occurs, there's going to be election fraud claim. But because this election is so tight, so we wouldn't know who the president is for a very long time. It's going to be like 2000, but repeat. Yeah, guys, definitely thank you, Paula. Make sure you don't forget to hit the like button as well. That would be very, very helpful. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be like, it's going to go to the Supreme Court. I feel like this is what this issue is. It's going to go to the Supreme Court. And the Queen of Pentacles reversed. I feel like it's going to be against Nikki Haley or some sort of Republican woman. Potentially, this Republican woman could be the one in office, and this new Democrat, which is the Knight of Cups here, which is the Biden energy coming in. So potentially it could be like Nikki Haley, Marjorie Taylor Greene, anybody you could think that's a woman who's a Republican. This would be the card here for them, but they lose. They end up losing. So they win, but then they lose the following election. This is what this is. This is what this is referring to. Interesting. We have here the Hermit. This is the most likely future as of now. As of now, the future seems to be set in stone. Well, not set in stone. She shouldn't say that. But it feels like the energy that we're doing with the choices that we're making is leading in that direction. Julie, as for Elizabeth Warren, I did say Elizabeth Warren and Hillary Clinton type energy. So it could be like, for example, this young Democrat could be, it's a male, so it's going to be the first one, the main leader is going to be a male, 35 years old, and the person who vice president is going to be a woman. So I'm sensing like AOC, Elizabeth Warren, Hillary Clinton type energy. So by the time this young individual comes in, AOC is going to be a lot older, way older. So you have to put that in mind in perspective that she could be that progressive view, whereas that a young Democrat could be a little bit more moderate, kind of like Biden. So that's what I'm seeing here as well. I don't necessarily see this as the 2024 presidential election of 2020. We could be placed on any one of the many timelines and the energy fluctuates. Exactly. That's why they didn't tell me who the election winner was going to be. But they did tell me in the vision that whoever leaves is going to be the one losing the White House. So that's interesting. So maybe the election won't be as competitive as it normally is, or it might be like the nation is not as polarized, so that everybody, we don't like that candidate, we're all going to swing. Kind of like the way 1980 was, people, Jimmy Carter was leading, and then it swung in favor of Ronald Reagan like the last week leading up to the election, and he ended up winning by a landslide. Could be something like that. Dreams of indigenous tribe of women is kind of unique and stunning crystal. Do you know what type of crystal that is? Let's see what else that was in the dream that we can kind of take a look at. Let's look at the baby scandal. I think that's interesting that I mentioned it. Why did we show me the baby scandal? I don't know if it's fake news. I didn't really watch many things that could have triggered this. I wasn't sure. I just said it in an original video. Interesting. So we have judgment. This is like judgment. Like, it almost feels like we have the trials here. This is like judgment day. It almost feels like information is going to be leaked out to the public when this occurs, and it's going to demonstrate both parties are both demonic in some way. Like they're both the one that could be blamed for this. Because we have here as well, we have the Chariot card, right? They didn't do the right thing and they didn't do the moral thing, right? We have here is we have the 4 cups reversed, and it's just interesting because it tells me that the children's lives were taken away, like their innocence was taken away from them. We have here as well as we have the Page of Swords. We have both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are going to do pretty bad come to this. So there could be a time where a third party candidate can actually rise and out of the ashes and take over. Let me ask, will there be a third party? Will this be a third party? Is this what this is? Is this why I kept seeing these pictures? Is it going to be a third party candidate who's going to do poll very well and potentially win the election whenever this dream is? Is this what this is? Okay, so we have no. Let me see. Yeah, no. So this is not a third party candidate, no. So it's more likely so that whoever leaves is going to be the loser. I feel like both of them are going to be very damaged, both political parties in terms of it. So they're going to have to bring the country back together because of the crime that both parties committed. So it does feel like both parties were involved in this. Again, I don't know what time period this will be. We'll find out. We'll find out every 4 years, and we may never find out. Or maybe it may take a couple of 100 years before this actually happens. So we never know. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you all for being here with me. I do appreciate it. Let's do a little bit of your little reading. Let's do a little pick a card for you guys to kind of see what messages you guys have for you. Then we end off on a good note. Okay, let's see what you guys have for you. I'm going to take 2. You're welcome, Julie. God, let's see. What do you guys think of like today's video? I'm really curious to see what you think. Okay, what's your thoughts about the children born in this time in the future? I got 12 grandchildren and 2 grandchildren. Oh, got 12 grandchildren and 2 grandchildren. I think I mean like 12 grandchildren and 2 great grandchildren. I'm gonna keep that at the suspense. I did mention it a few times, but put it in a video. I'll make a complete video on it for you, like a big video. It's called Understanding Life Important Topics, and I'll put it for that. I'll be reviving it as well, so stay tuned for more content on that as well. All right, let's see. We have 4 cards that came out for you guys. Actually submit it. Actually, Rhonda, please submit it. That's a great question. You can go on my website to do that. All right, so we have here as well is we have 4 cards. Right, and I want you to close your eyes and I want you to ask yourself, what is it that my spirit guides want me to know right now? Right, you can pick as many as you want, but close your eyes and feel drawn to whatever one. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each one has a different message. I'll give you a moment. If you need more time, pause the video. Okay, for card 1, what you guys want you to know is, am I clear on what my soul really wants? Right? Take out the should and limitation. Get out of your head and pay attention to your heart's desires instead. If you knew it was impossible to fail, what would you do? Wherever you go, go with your heart. Today's soul action. Ask yourself, what is it that your soul really wants? What does your heart crave? What does your heart crave? Then take 1 step in that direction, right? So you have to take that direction. What do you really want? For those of you guys who have chosen card number 2, your message is, am I communicating my needs? Are you telling yourself what it is that you need? Your needs matter. What are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? What are you afraid of? Is it possible that what you are fearing is not true? Today's soul action. Journal these answers. What are my needs? Am I saying, quote, no and, quote, yes? Enough based on my own desires? Am I telling the full truth? Do I believe that my needs matter and do I share them with others? Do I ask for what I want when I am communicating my needs? What am I resistant and with whom? What do I need in order to feel safe enough to express my needs? So you can screenshot this if you need some more time. Okay, this is card number 2. For those of you guys who have chosen card number 3, your message is, am I ready to let go of this buried chain? The feeling of shame is the lowest energy of frequency there is. When you live in shame, you live in darkness. What part of you is ready to stand in the light? Is there any shame from the past experience that is ready to be healed? Today's soul action. Heal the shame by giving it a name. Bring it to light and let it be seen, heard, and healed. It's revival season. Replace the shame with your soul truth. Fill in the blank. My soul truth is blank. And if you need to screenshot this, this is your message. And for those of you guys who have chosen the fourth card, your message is, do I know all my strength? Am I using them? We all have superpowers, but it's up to us to uncover them. When we live and lead with our strength, we're able to show up in our dome of geniusness. This inspires others to do the same. The soul action today is ask yourself, quote, how can I use one of my soul gifts today to contribute to this open and ready world, right? So that is your message. If you need to see that, again, if you pick number 1 and you kind of want to see the back of it, this is yours. All right, so guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's see what Julie said. She said Jacob in the book of Judea had 12 children and 2 grandchildren that became 2 half tribes of Israel. He had 11 sons and 1 daughter, Diana. Interesting. All right, thank you for sharing. All right, guys, I hope you guys have a very beautiful night. I hope you have a wonderful day. Really, I do. And I'll see you guys soon. I'll be making a video from other YouTube channels, so I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break from this channel, but I hope you find this video to be informative. I love you all. Oh, hi, folks of Sorbet. You guys all have a beautiful night. Thank you all for coming. Bye.